Tough practice out there in the heat. EJ Smith, Fran Duffy were there. Bo Wulf. Let's suck them back and talk about it on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles podcast, live from the Xfinity studio, presented by Xfinity, Doodad Dental, and TrueMark Financial Credit Union. Bo Wulf, Fran Duffy, EJ Smith to talk about the final joint practice of the summer between the Eagles and the Browns. It was a little bit of an underwhelming practice in terms of how long it went and what they did, but there was still some stuff to talk about, plenty to talk about. A day in which the defense won the day, I would say, on both sides of the ball, Fran.
Yeah, I thought I had eyes on the Eagles defense today after watching the offense mostly yesterday. But yeah, a little bit shorter than yesterday's practice. Not as much. We didn't see any one-on-ones really. So a little bit uneventful for it, but they got some good red zone work in today. So we're plenty to talk about still.
EJ, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm a little disappointed that the practice wasn't, I honestly, I would have taken it twice as long, especially we disagreed on this. I thought the weather today was a little bit more tolerable, was a little bit more comfortable. So yeah.
I thought it was worse than yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not.
Yesterday we got a haze for the first half of practice.
Yeah, but the humidity was just brutal yesterday. Wasn't like
Sweat
that
a lot today. Yeah.
It is significantly hotter on those. I went up to the concrete steps today. So I watched from the stuff when you're that heat bouncing off the concrete, you feel it a little bit more up there.
There you go. You don't get expert analysis like that anywhere else. All right, let's get right into it. The big deal presented by Cherry Hill Kia. We're going to go around and give our big takeaways from what we saw at practice today. Fran, you and EJ both focused more on the defense. I was watching the Eagles offense. Give me your number one big takeaway.
I think look, it's one day, but we got to talk about the cornerback rotation. You talked about some of the issues that the pass defense had yesterday against the Cleveland Browns. Somewhat unimpressive pass game especially in terms of the quarterback position. Today, what we saw, you saw Quinyon Mitchell with Adoree Jackson. Those were the ones for the large majority of practice. Jacorian Bennett mixed in with the ones for a chunk of one period late in the period. But outside of that, it was Adoree Jackson getting the lion's share of the reps alongside Quinyon Mitchell. The twos, you had Mac McWilliams on the outside alongside sorry, in my notes, you had Jacorian Bennett.
For the most part.
So it was Kelee, Ringo, and Eli Ricks mixed in with the twos, and were mostly did not really get much run at all. So I thought that was very notable. Just seeing what the cornerback
seems like a bit of a demotion for Kelee.
For one day.
For one day.
In the one day. So we've seen these kind of days in weeks past where it's been today was a big Adoree Jackson day. Obviously, they don't have practice
those
tomorrow.
days, he's still working as the number two corner.
Exactly,
as the second team corner.
So so I think with the deal for Bennett and then with the ascension of Mac McWilliams, the rotation, a little bit tougher to get those reps.
Interesting.
I think that was my number one takeaway.
It was mine.
Now you watched that as well. So what was your takeaway? What did you read of that, EJ?
Yeah, I agree with Fran. I feel like it's a worrying sign for Kelee Ringo. I mean, to be in the line change midway through the second team defense's reps with Eli Ricks. I have in my notes, Kelee Ringo demoted ? Now, we've had days in training camp before where Kelee kind of took a backseat to Adoree Jackson, only to take more reps with the first team the following day. But this kind of does feel different, especially when it's he's kind of joined at the hip with Eli Ricks with the rotation.
And especially knowing how they value these reps against another team, right? Now, listen, it's entirely possible he's got some nagging injury that they're trying to manage. There's, he's on some kind of pitch count or something like that. But given the way that we have seen them run practice all summer long and knowing that they value these reps, it does feel a little bit worrying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, go ahead.
I was gonna say for the last week and a half, week or so, I've been like, I think this is gonna be Keelee's job. I don't want to overreact to one day, but I kind of think it might be a Dore, or is the door open for the rookie?
Well, how did both of those guys look?
I thought it was solid. I mean, to me, the defense you mentioned at the top, I think the defense kind of won the day. That really, I mean, two of the plays that Cleveland was able to hit were trick plays. Like one was a double pass, the other was like a hook and ladder from the slot.
That's kind of fun. I mean,
it was fun. Yeah,
let's make a hook and ladder. Let's make that a big part of the playbook.
It was like probably like the 8-yard line, and they brought Judy in to run like a little tunnel screen in the slot. He catches the ball and immediately tosses it to the rookie Dylan Sampson, who runs to the pylon. It was a nice little flag football play, and everybody cheered. And I was like, okay, thanks, guys. It's a good look for everybody. But I think when you're looking at the secondary, it's going to be interesting to see what that rotation looks like. There were more
through the double pass.
I want to say it was to the running back. I think it might have been Sampson. Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
I should have asked a question, and I didn't know if you knew the answer to.
No, it's all right. But it was to me, like the secondary looked pretty good today.
Now, with the twos, when they went nickel, was it Brandon Johnson still?
Yes.
Okay.
Brandon Johnson got the second team nickel reps.
Of course, I'm smiling.
Can't help himself.
Got a boy.
You guys know somebody knows ball. That's all. Can I help it if me and Vic see things the same way?
Just so you know, like he's tearing up right now.
But did you have eyes on Mac McWilliams when he was out there?
Yeah, I thought he looked solid. I wasn't like studying the entire every single rep from him, but I think that I mean he looked like he belonged out there certainly. Mukuba got a lot of the reps with the second team at safety, and we can talk about that a little bit. It was Sydney to me, like I wrote down a lot of positive Sydney Brown today. Okay. Mukuba gave up a touchdown to Harold Fannin Jr. on a sail route, or he looked like he was in one-on-one coverage and kind of gave up another play.
Other options for that pick, right? Going up against each other.
Yeah. That's a good point too.
Yeah.
He did get a tip ball interception in the middle of the field to end the day. Andrew Mukuba did, so he's got that going for him. But to me, I think that's Sydney Brown at safety.
Well, I'm interested to see what they do in the game now.
Yes,
because if Kelee plays like the whole first half, that tells you that it wasn't an injury thing, that this was kind of a one-day demotion, right? And, Vic has said he wanted to see how he responded. Obviously, he's not happy with the way he responded this week.
Yeah, and so much of it is, the interpersonal dynamics of things where it's like a player's confidence and again, like talking about some of the stuff behind the scenes that we don't get to see as members of the media, how are guys acting in the classroom, in the locker room, like those kinds of things. All we can do is follow what the coaches are showing us. And the fact that it seemed like a demotion, I think is notable.
Okay. Well, that will be our big deal presented by Cherry Hill Kia. Good breakdown there. Fran, let's go over to EJ now. What was your number one takeaway from today after the cornerback rotation?
Yeah, so Sydney Brown was half of my first takeaway. It was a relatively run-heavy day from the Browns offense today, and I thought that really suited two players, one of which being Sydney Brown, the other one being Jihaad Campbell.
Okay.
I thought that both of those guys really, really shined today, getting downhill, fitting the run. Again, Sydney Brown, he just looks so at home. Like we talked about it the other day, where it's like see ball, get ball. He is very comfortable in that. And I feel like a joint practice setting really kind of fits his play style as well, where it's a little bit more competitive. He kept ripping the ball out of all the Browns running backs' hands.
Dylan Sampson put the ball on the ground like 4 times today for the Browns. Right? And it was like a lot of them were like late punch outs, but like Deuce Staley is not going to be happy with stuff like that.
Yeah, but I thought Jihaad Campbell really just looked. Again, it's like he does like the baby Zach Bond roll at times where he's dropping down to the edge and they can move to that 5 down front. And it is just like very notable if you think back to last summer, like if Bond was out, they could not really do those things. The fact that he gives them that versatility. They even had a 6-man front at one point during practice today with Campbell walk down. So we haven't seen Campbell and Bond yet, but I am excited for that possibility because of what the flexibility that it's going to afford Vic Fangio. So, I thought it was a good Jihaad Campbell day, at least going forward. I don't know if you have many notes about him in coverage.
I think you're right, though. I think about those two guys similarly right now. That I don't have a problem with Sydney Brown coming forward in run defense, and I certainly feel that way about Jihaad Campbell. It is you're worried about what's going to happen over the top.
I feel like even in zone coverage, I'm okay with Jihaad Campbell. It's when it's those one-on-one matchups with running backs that he is not,
which is very difficult.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tough ask, especially for a rookie that they are asking a lot of already. I thought that those two guys in a physical run-heavy practice, they looked really, really at home.
First drop back of the day for the Browns in team sessions. There was a PBU for Jihaad Campbell, middle of the field, where the length really showed up, and it's that's kind of been a talking point with like scouts and talent evaluators in recent years. Is why teams are valuing length with all the zone coverage being played and all the too high looks. Is like having linebackers with long arms that can kind of squeeze those passing lanes down. I thought that was a good example on that play. He just kind of got that arm in there and was able to knock the pass down.
Can I circle back to the cornerback competition for a second?
Yeah.
How much do you think, if at all, Howie Roseman regrets not bringing back Darius Slay and or Isaiah Rodgers?
Yeah, I think Isaiah Rodgers is the one that stands out to me.
Agree.
Because like you had a competent starting level cornerback there. It's not like you got paid, on a massive deal or multi-year.
You got what, 8? Which
I think it was 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
a little bit more than I think you would have expected.
yeah,
but
still and it was a 1-year deal if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So a 1-year deal for a starting level corner. Again, I understand that the way that the Eagles roster is currently constructed, you need to be smart around the margins. You can't, spend frivolously or anything like that. But I didn't think that deal was prohibitive, especially with what it would give you, what it represents for this Eagles secondary, where that Quinyon Mitchell's probably not going to get a heavy target share. That second cornerback spot is going to be something that teams try to take advantage of. Yeah, I think having Isaiah Rodgers, not to say that he was a perfect, starting corner. I think that he had his deficiencies as well, but he definitely would be running away with this job right now if he was in training camp. So it is a good question.
You don't have to make the Booker Bennett trade.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I also wonder if he just wishes he brought back Slay. You get one more year. That's
you never know if he's going to fall off the cliff this year. I
have
a question for
but
you
that's
guys.
what Ringo's here for. Yeah.
I have a question for you about the cornerback job. I am not there yet, but I'm curious if either of you are ready to see Cooper DeJean take some snaps out there.
I think it is telling that we haven't seen a single rep of that all summer long, when we did see reps there in the spring of him on the outside. So, I mean, I am kind of curious. The more they try guys on the outside that don't look great, I'm not convinced that wouldn't be the best solution in nickel. The problem is then it means you got to put somebody else in nickel. And so if it's going to be Mac McWilliams, well, maybe Mac McWilliams is better on the outside than he is on the inside. And so if he's going to be the one on the field, you might as well play him the place he's comfortable.
What do you think, Fran?
I would be wary about taking Cooper away from the middle of the field personally.
I completely agree.
Ideally.
Yeah. But I feel like we've talked about the DeJean at safety experiment that I am probably more in favor of than either of you guys. And I feel like putting him on the outside takes away one of his best attributes, which is his versatility. And if you put him on the outside, obviously his coverage ability still translates there, but you lose so much at both nickel and safety in the base defense. So I'm still not quite there. I feel like the ripple effects are too great. And you are you're still getting solid play at outside corner theoretically, but you are taking away one of Cooper DeJean's best assets.
Yeah, but if that's, it's like Vic Fangio said, it's not about where Cooper is best. It's about what's best for the team. And if you lose what makes him a superhero on defense, but you don't have any glaring weaknesses, maybe that is better. If it's a weak league system, right? Then if the nickel is competent, which is no guarantee, which is part of the reason that you wouldn't just do it.
Yeah.
But if that is the box that you're checking, then maybe that would be better. Even if you are you don't have a plus at one position, would you rather have 2 places of competency as opposed to 1 great and 1 bad?
Yeah, I guess it depends on what you think that weak link looks like in the nickel spot if you move him out there. Yeah.
It takes me back to like last year with the Ravens, with what they do with Kyle Hamilton, where it's okay. One of the things that makes our defense so effective, and when we were so good in 2023, was that ability to have him kind of patrolling the middle of the field, and he could be a big nickel, and he could be using those middle zones. And then they really struggled last year, a lot of issues at corner and in different spots. And they said, all right, let's take Hamilton, let's just put him at safety, leave him at safety, solidify some of those other spots. And while it was weaker for him, it got them up. It raised the floor a little bit, but I think they were still missing some of that edge, and it's the reason why they drafted a first-round safety here in 2024 or 2025.
And you also think about like the moving parts of it all, and I think we saw last season that Vic would prefer to just have a static 11 guys out there and not have to be doing a lot of mixing and matching. So that also complicates things with DeJean.
If Mac McWilliams had been like a slot corner by trade at UCF, and so like, all right, like he's a slot corner, then I think that maybe you feel where it's like, okay, yeah, but if it's going to be an adjustment for him anyway, to adjust to a new position in the slot, and then the Cooper DeJean will be outside, just throw Mac McWilliams out there a corner if you're just going to put him out there.
Or week 1 starter, Brandon Johnson. All right, my number one takeaway from watching the offense today, I think you've seen some reports, if you've been paying attention at all, that like, the Browns defense dominated this day. I mean, the Browns defense was better, and it was funny yesterday when you guys came in with your number one takeaway was, man, that Myles Garrett guy is good, and I'm like, okay, like I get it. And then I watched today's practice, I'm like, man, that Myles Garrett guy, he can wreck a practice now, because I mean that was the case. Like if he had been going full speed, he would have ruined like 80% of the passing plays. But that said, the passing offense for the Eagles today was not good. And I may have missed a play here, but I tracked the 17 dropbacks that the ones did today. Just was it a good play or was it a bad play?
Right.
My own version of success rate. First series, they had 3 plays, 3 negatives. Second series, 3 plays, 2 positives. Third series, 2 pass plays, 2 negatives. Then they were split 2 and 2, and then the last period, 1 good play, 4 bad plays. So that was 5 good plays out of 17 dropbacks.
Sounds like 1/3. Yep.
It was not very good, and there were a couple nice plays. I mean, there were no explosives. Now they were mostly doing red zone stuff, so that's fine. There was one particular really nice tight window throw from Jalen Hurts to DeVonta Smith over the middle of the field. I thought the 2 best reps I saw today from Jalen Hurts were both against unblocked blitzes, where he got the ball out quick at the top of the drop. One of them actually, he hit Calcaterra in the helmet. Calcaterra didn't get his head around.
Right, I saw that play
because the ball had to come out. But that was a good throw from Jalen. But other than that, like there were a lot of checkdowns to running backs, and not in the way you talked about it yesterday, where it was like in the progression, it was more like, okay, he's scrambling around a little bit, and here comes another Will Shipley play. Lot of like just the only stuff they had going was when they got DeVonta Smith on Miles Harden, right? Like, okay, this is the worst corner. Let's get to DeVonta on him. It was not a successful day. Now, they didn't have Lane Johnson today. He took the day off. Very smart move on his part on the day that Myles Garrett's here. Jordan Mailata said after practice he's working through something. And Jordan Mailata's like hanging his head a little bit during practice today because he's getting beat up by Myles Garrett. So keeping that in mind, you've got 2 or 3 of the projected starters out there. But Myles Garrett kind of ruined practice again today.
Yeah. It's one of those things, and you don't have the benefit of the run game. And if you are actually trying to when you're going up against a player like Myles Garrett, if you are like actually like trying to block it, like it does change it a little bit. Like it's going to be a little bit toward in his favor, where like, all right, like his athleticism, he's gonna blow by you.
Well, Mailata's like, I did my job there. Like I did what I'm supposed to do, and he's like 4 steps in, and he hasn't even raised up from the ground yet from his 4-point stance.
Yes, it was funny watching him talk about him today.
I wrote down the quote because I enjoyed it so much. They asked him, what does he get from watching his reps back against Myles Garrett? And he says, I get a giggle out of it. I'll be sitting there like, I did my bleeping job, and yet I still got beat. How is that even possible? How is he still at below my knees and he's bending the corner? He starts his rush in a 4-point stance, and by the time he's 4 yards upfield, he's still at the same height. So
Cam Jurgens described it. I've never heard this before. This is a new one for me. I wrote it down.
Oh, yes.
Predator with ice skates running through the grass.
That's great.
Now, he had a beer.
Yeah.
So that could have helped with his description. That could have been part of the post circle. Now, after practice, Landon Dickerson, who got surgery yesterday, brings out a bucket of beers for the offensive lineman to get in a circle with Baldy and talk shop. They're throwing a couple back, so maybe that was the result of that.
Yeah. I had to write that one down. I don't know if I'm going to be able to squeeze that into the draft guide this year, talking about somebody, but Predator with ice skates running through the grass. That was a good one. There we go.
There we go. Oh, look at this from Julia. They're fantastic. Joel Batonio sucking one back. Baldy in the mix. Love to see that.
There's Aaron Moorhead there in the background.
Yeah, which one of these guys doesn't belong?
Good times.
Yeah. So Not a great day for the offense, and they didn't run quite as much today as they did yesterday. There was actually a lot of they were in the red zone, so of course the Eagles are going to call some quarterback draws. There were like 5 of them.
Yeah,
it's overstating it a little bit, but I'm not getting much out of that. Yeah, I know.
Quarterback draw in practice is like, maybe you guys are better note takers than me, especially when I leave my notebook at the media house. Got to do a better job. But what do you guys write on a quarterback draw?
I just write quarterback draw.
Yeah, that's what I write. I literally just write quarterback draw.
Yeah. I think on one today where like Jurgens pulled around nicely, he gets to hit somebody on the second level. But yeah, it's what are we doing here?
Would you rather see a quarterback draw or a trick play?
Trick play for sure.
I don't get much out of those either, though.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what do you feel like they're getting more out of?
Quarterback draw.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they got to rep the
entertainment-wise. We get more out of a trick play. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
This dovetails nicely into my second takeaway. Maybe this is a tease for after the ad.
That's a great tease. What a professional. Find out what that dovetail is just after this break. Finances are like bad screens, which I saw a lot of today from the Eagles. They can be messy and confusing. Monarch Money acts like your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control so you can stop earning and start growing. It's more than your average budgeting app. Monarch Money is a complete financial command center for your accounts, investments, and goals. Don't just manage your money, start building wealth with 50% off your first year for our listeners. Start managing your finances to build the life you actually want. Monarch makes managing money simple, even for busy lives. Monarch Money is the finance tool people actually love, and it was named Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025. It is the top recommended personal finance app by users and experts with over 30,000 5-star reviews. And listen, financial stress is one of the top reasons relationships fall apart. Monarch makes money conversations easier. So, get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code PHLY at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code PHLY.
Next, we've got to talk about Cherry Hill Kia. If you're looking for the dealership with the most inventory and super low lease payments in the Philadelphia area, Kia of cherryhill.com is the place to go. Choose from over 450 new Kias, including Tellurides, Sportages, K5s, Carnivals, Celtos, Souls, and more. I've got to tell you, Kia is the hottest automotive brand in the country for a reason. 7 of their models received 2025 Car and Driver Editor's Choice Awards. That's amazing, considering there were more than 450 models tested and only 20 models industry-wide received this award. Combine that with the best warranty in the automotive business, 10 years, 100,000-mile powertrain, and 5 years, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper. Stop in today, tell them PHLY sent you, and receive a $100 Restaurants.com gift card just for taking a test drive or completing a trade appraisal. I know people buy Kias elsewhere, I just don't know why. Drive home in your new Kia today, just minutes from all bridges or available online 24/7 at kiaofcherryhill.com.
And if you're a Flyers fan, how about a little trip to sunny SoCal? Because the PHLY and Philly Sports Trips California Takeover is coming up. If you're ready for the ultimate Flyers getaway, you can head to allphly.com/events. We are talking March 17th to the 22nd. They're hitting the road, the plane, to the West Coast for 2 huge games against the Anaheim Ducks at the Honda Center and then the LA Kings at Crypto.com Arena. And who else is going to be there besides you and maybe your loved one? John LeClair, no big deal. Your package includes optional round-trip direct flights from Philly, a 5-night stay at the beautiful Sanborn, Santa Monica, group tickets to both games, a Flyers watch party, and an exclusive meet and greet with John LeClair. Of course, French for John the Claire. Plus, the Philly Sports Trips crew will be there to handle every detail so you can just enjoy the sun, the sights, and the hockey. This is the California vacation every Flyers fan dreams of, with a couple of wins to top it off. Spots are limited. Once again, go to allphly.com/events. I got dripped on. To be fair, it was my notebook that got dripped on, not me, but that is coming and it's working its way down. All right, let's hear the dovetail.
All right.
Your number 2 takeaway from practice, E.J. Smith.
The trick plays are symptomatic of something that I think is important to keep in mind with the joint practice evaluation. This felt like the Browns were really up for these 2 practices. Very
Oh, this is I like this take.
A measure. Whose take?
I like this take.
Oh, I thought you said it was someone else's.
No,
take.
this is good.
I hope I didn't steal this from someone.
No, this is good.
Yeah, I feel like the Browns use this as a measuring stick. You know, I've got a brother-in-law who's texting me, how do the Browns look against the Eagles? He's a Browns fan. And I feel like the trick plays were kind of indicative of that urgency from the Browns. Not to give the Eagles excuses here. I mean, listen, like, you know, the evaluation is the evaluation, and especially some of the individual players that we're looking at, like, there's no excuses or anything like that in that regard. But I do feel like we saw some moments where the Browns were clearly very fired up to use this as a tone setter, maybe for their season.
I think that's fair. I mean, listen, there is the target on your back of being the Super Bowl champions. You got to deal with that all season. There's also a lot of like sort of interpersonal things here. You know, Jim Schwartz, I'm sure, wants to take it to the Eagles.
Yeah.
And we also have to remember, like, the Browns defense itself as a unit, I mean, 2 years ago was one of the best defenses in football. They had some regression last year, but there's every reason to believe that they could be a top 5 defense again. That's not crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
that has to, like, it's not just the Eagles out there.
They are going to be they're going to have one of the worst records in football this year, most likely. But they still, I mean, they've got good players on that team. You have a game record in Myles Garrett. That's going to, and I agree with EJ's feeling as well that, you're going to get everybody's best shot. It's easier for them to get up for it. But this is something that the Eagles are going to have to contend with all season long.
I mean, can you remember a joint practice with 2 trick plays from the other team?
I remember the Eagles running a trick play when Shane Steichen came. Remember they wanted it was Steichen's play. It was a Kenny Gainwell pass, and they wanted to run it against Shane. They wanted to run his play against him.
That's right. Yes. I do remember that.
Yeah,
that's like more for like for the memes though.
That's right.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
it's like more comedy than like we need to get a look at this.
I feel like the hook and ladder play. I feel like that could be a red zone play.
Yeah, to me, like, to Fran's point, like, if you're a team that's like, this is what we're breaking out in the red zone, like, I don't know, it speaks to a lack of other good options.
I think I'm going to take the over on the Browns wins this year. If we get there and they spread your wins and fly draft, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe a challenge flag will get thrown.
Okay.
Who's playing quarterback in your ideal over scenario?
You're a big Dylan Gabriel guy.
I love Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who plays quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, probably Flacco.
Probably. I think Flacco.
Yeah. He had a couple nice throws today.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a fair take. What was your second take, Fran?
I want to talk about the edge rush rotation as well. I think because you know I've alluded to the fact that we've seen a lot more Josh Uche with the ones, and you know I kept saying like, all right, like it's Jalen Hunt working with the twos. And there's kind of like, there's been like little alarm bells in my head. Like my radar was up like, oh, like maybe Jalen's not quite ready for that. I have a different feel on it. I actually think that they just wanted, they're trying to put those guys in position to work against other starting units and the Eagles starting unit to get a better sense of, all right, who's going to step up. Today, we saw Azeez Ojulari working with the ones, Josh Uche working with the ones, Patrick Johnson working with the ones.
Oh, not Okoronkwo. Okay.
And Okoronkwo got mixed in as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
All those guys all got mixed in with the ones. Sometimes there was 2 of them at once. Nolan Smith was working with the twos at times, and Jalen Hunt was working with the twos at times.
Yeah, they want to see those guys. Yeah.
I think they want to see those guys, and they're trying to see who's going to kind of rise to the top there. So I thought that was notable. They're clearly trying to work through like who is going to be that first player off the bench. I still think it's Uche, based off the discussions we had Monday as well. But I thought that was notable that they continue to rotate those guys through.
I think it depends on the down again.
Yeah.
I think it's probably still Ojulari on first and second down and Uche on third down, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, my feeling on it in the summer was that I feel good about Uche's floor in the defense as like he's gonna come in, he's gonna be that third down role player, and I don't know that there's anything that's happened that has made me move off that. I just feel he's going to be on the roster. Whereas coming in, I was like, I don't think he's going to make it. Or I don't know if he's going to make it.
I am more sure that Uche will be on the team than I am that Ojulari will be on the team.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you could even make a case that Patrick Johnson would be a better early down edge rusher. I mean, he's not, obviously doesn't have maybe like not the biggest like profile wise, but I don't know. I haven't seen it with Ojulari.
O'Shane Mathis did not get any
You missed him
run.
yesterday. He was good yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, Mathis did not get any run with the ones. Okay. It was just the vets that were getting that playing time.
A couple depth chart things before I give you my takeaway. The offensive line, Once again, Brett Toth with the starters at left guard. Darian Kennard moved to the right side today. So it was Trevor Keegan back on the left side at left guard, Kennard back at right guard. So I think that tells you that Kennard is not necessarily coming for Toth's spot right now. But I think he's still I think Stout is grooming him to be the top backup on game day.
Right. Remind me, last year for Keegan's first year, what was he was playing solely left guard. He was only left guard.
Yes.
I wonder if that's part of it. Is like this is the spot where he feels most comfortable.
Maybe. Yeah. I have a few other specific things, but my takeaway that I want to get to, it's over. Darius Cooper is on the team.
He's on the team.
He is on the team.
He's on the team.
He worked with the ones in kickoff coverage and in kickoff return. He was one of the 2 returners next to Avery Williams.
After being one of the starting gunner yesterday.
Yes, after being the starting gunner yesterday.
Yep.
He works in with the ones. Now, Aniyah Smith got a few more reps with the ones today than Cooper did. But, Jalen threw him the ball on one of those unblocked blitzes on a slant. He is on the team.
He's on the team. I think any 53 that doesn't have him on it is probably wrong.
And he deserves to be on the team.
Yeah.
What I said to Anthony today is I think a realistic path for Darius Cooper to me is that he replaces Jahan Dotson as the number 3 receiver next year.
I was just about to ask you, what is the ceiling that, based off of this summer alone?
I think that is a realistic ceiling.
Yeah, that's probably a best case scenario. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an intriguing player.
He's really good.
Maybe have something coming on this later in the week.
Okay.
But he does feel like a player that is just kind of, for whatever reason, flown under the radar to no fault of his own, is what I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. You're still a little bit hesitant?
It's not that I'm hesitant. I think he's on the team.
I feel like he gets open more than Jahan Dotson does.
Dotson's had a decent camp.
He's had a good camp.
Good camp. Yeah.
It's a 4th-year former first-round pick.
Right. Yeah. I mean, clearly he was overdrafted. Okay. There's no question about that. I agree with your ceiling.
You're being
I don't know
properly skeptical.
Yes, I don't know that
it's August 15, 14.
Right. I'm not going nuts.
That's fine.
Who is the most who is the receiver that you think of when you think of the training camp wide receiver that just wasn't real, was a figment of training camp imagination? I always think I think it was J.J. Arcega-Whiteside's second season.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. You were. I don't think I was ever in on.
He had
the one
4
summer
touchdown catches in one day of practice.
I know, but that was a very good example of the ball just got to him. He wasn't doing anything. He was on the field. He was running the back line on the end zone, and the ball went there.
I'm not saying that Darius Cooper is that. I'm just saying that there are cautionary tales at the very least.
And I don't listen. Pull the clip if I'm wrong here. I don't feel like I've been like this about a receiver. Yeah. Now, DeAndre Carter is different, and it was a different level. I think Darius Cooper is really good. When I say really good, I mean I think he can be their wide receiver 4 this year. That's the level. I mean,
okay.
He's not gonna be a starting receiver on the Eagles right now.
Right.
But
you think next year though?
I think he could be their number 3 receiver next year.
Okay. He could. I just think of all right, you mentioned DeAndre Carter. I accidentally referred to Demarcus Johnson earlier
He's
show.
bigger than Demarcus Johnson.
He is. He's bigger. I'm not saying it, but Paul Turner is the name that comes to mind to answer your earlier question. I think we're talking in that ilk. So I'm not, to me,
okay. What I will also say is I think Paul Turner was a one-trick pony. He had speed on the outside.
No, he honestly, I mean, he was not as thick as Cooper.
I think I'm impressed with that Cooper has done most of his winning on the outside.
Sure.
Whereas you might pigeonhole him as an inside guy.
Right. I think that's fair.
All right.
I think
you need to bring me down if I'm getting ahead of myself.
Here's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's going overboard. So that way when he makes it, because Brandon Johnson's not going to make it,
he can pivot.
Cooper is his guy. Cooper's his guy.
I
was higher on Cooper than anybody. That was the highest on the show.
Well, I said it before. Brandon Lee Gowton was first eyes on him.
Okay.
But I do feel like I'm as high on him as anybody.
Oh, here we go.
That's true. He's good.
What would Brandon Johnson say about this right now?
We'll talk about it tonight. Listen, I'm happy. I'm not backing off Brandon Johnson. I feel very good about that.
Sure.
Okay. That's all. All right. We want to start to go through some specifics. Unfortunately, we didn't get one-on-ones today. Which
I know.
Was a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah, no one-on-ones today.
What do you make of that? Why did they go and there was no 7-on-7s either?
And it wasn't like a scrimmage day necessarily.
Yeah.
It wasn't like there was tons to move the ball or anything.
They went a little longer yesterday than was planned. They were supposed to be done by 11:30 yesterday, and they went close to noon. So I don't know if it was like, hey, we got a lot of good work in yesterday. It's really hot out. Like, let's do the red zone work and get in and get out kind of day. That's kind of what it felt like. Surprisingly, usually like one-on-ones.
It does seem like Nick Sirianni is averse to like a high volume of joint practices for whatever reason. Like the Patriots last year, I think
he also is he doesn't like the fights.
No, yeah,
like some coaches do like the fights, and so maybe usually that stuff boils over on the second day.
Yeah,
that might be part of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. My first note. So EJ mentioned that he forgot his notebook in the media house. I go out to practice. Just terrible rookie move by me. Go out to practice. I've got my notebook. I've got my pen. I start to write. Joint practice 2. I got no ink. No backup pen.
No backup pen.
No backup pen, which is a terrible move by my part.
What'd you
this
do?
guy.
Teammate. Nice.
Pulls the pen right out of the pocket. Here we go.
I got an extra pen for you right here too. We both would have had you covered.
Not only that, just a beautiful pen.
Like
just a
best pen.
Yeah, to be fair, I would have given you the second best of my 2 pens. I wouldn't have given you my ace.
I come out with 2 identical pens. You gotta have the continuity.
Okay. I respect that.
Some redemption for me. I also made it up to the building today all by myself.
Give it up. First time.
What can I say, people?
Wow.
What can I say?
Very nice.
Yes, we're going to take the wins with the losses today.
Okay, that's good. I did something today that I'm usually good for probably twice a summer at training camp, which is I made it to the field without my lanyard, without my thing.
Yeah.
So I had to double back and get that. Sometimes I leave it in the car, but I've been doing just backpack this year, so I've avoided that. But I did have to do one backtrack.
You know what I did today for the first time in a while? I started writing my notes. So you're writing, you're going through, and it's like, all right, you flip the page, and you go. Somehow, some way, the first 2.5 pages of my notes are upside down. So I go to turn the page, and I'm like, because I was trying to keep an eye on both fields, and I go, and I'm like, what the hell's this? And it was yesterday's notes. Upside down, and I'm like, so now I got half the notes are the right side up. Just a nightmare for me.
It's training camp.
I appreciate that. I mean, you have a smaller notebook, and you are going play by play on every line. I think we may have talked about this before.
Yeah,
I'm impressed by that. I mean, mine, I'm wasting so much space here. It's a full thing. I've got, I'm spaced out. I'm all over the place because I'm doing a lot of writing while I'm looking.
Right.
What do you do, EJ?
I write notes that I only I will be able to understand afterward. I am line by line like Fran.
Line by line, okay.
But I probably don't get quite as many details as Fran. I will annotate, I'll add one extra thing underneath if I feel like I need it. But my notes are chaotic. I'll note if Mukuba comes in for Sydney Brown, I'll note that and then I'll do colon and I'll write the play in there, which is not the best way in my opinion.
I usually if I've got a lot of white space, and I'll go through and after a period's over, they're getting water, whatever. I'm like, all right, a couple just quick takeaways. Meg got me this book, and she usually buys my books for me. And it's I want to make the most of all this. So this is the one I've been using for the last year or so. My opinions that nobody gives a shit about. So I'm like, all right, she got me this book. I want to
that's nice.
Use as much of the paper as I can.
Okay. I have a specific pre-sex portion of practice to talk to you about.
Excuse me?
This is a foreplay sequence with the twos at the very end of practice, okay? Foreplay sequence. Play 1. Tanner McKee drops back, looks to his right, throws it to A.J. Dillon. Play 2. Tanner McKee drops back, looks to his right, throws it to A.J. Dillon. Play 3. Tanner McKee sits in the pocket, dumps it down over the middle to A.J. Dillon. 4th play in a row. Tanner McKee dumps it off to A.J. Dillon. A 4-play sequence of 4 catches for A.J. Dillon. Unbelievable. Not how you want the offense to look. That also came on the heels of AJ Brown or of Jalen Hurts having thrown the ball to Will Shipley twice in 3 plays. So a lot of running backs involved today, and not the way that you wanted them.
I was going to say, was it like in rhythm to AJ Dillon, or was
the
it
first 2 were?
Yeah.
The second 2 were not.
Was he hurried?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this was like, I think it was a move the ball at the end of a possession, or like the end of a half or end of a. So the ball had to move, the ball had to get out. But yeah, I mean, he was taking what he could get.
How many receiving yards is AJ Dillon getting?
Well, that was my question,
sequence?
and this was I got to give Rube credit for this because he asked this on the sideline as well. In the middle of this 4-play sequence, will AJ Dillon have more catches today than he does the rest of the season?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes.
I gotta think so too.
Yeah, I gotta think so.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like it might not even be. Like, what are you throwing the ball to AJ Dillon for in a regular season game?
Yeah, I mean,
Throwing the ball to AJ Dillon is like the opposite of foreplay.
Yeah,
like just like completely unmoved. It's like if we go the opposite direction.
Tell me more. Tell me more. I don't know. I don't know what gets you going.
You get into a hole, you just stop digging. I'm just gonna stop. We're just gonna stop talking.
Okay. By the way, you know what? Now that he's healthy, I want to see how Montrell Johnson looks on Friday or Saturday afternoon because I think he could take AJ Dillon's job.
Really?
I think he could.
Yeah, I think AJ Dillon's on the team personally. Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen enough.
How do we feel before we get to break about a 1:00 Saturday preseason?
I hate it. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, preseason belongs like 7:00 on Thursdays.
What are we doing?
You get a Friday night in there, you get a Wednesday night in there, whatever. But
at the very least, make it at night.
Make it a night game. Yeah, Saturday 1:00.
What are we doing?
Like high school.
Who's gonna get anything out of that? I gotta miss a weekend day.
Right. Brutal.
Garbanzo.
Yeah.
All right. Quick break. Coming back with more on today's joint practice, the final one of the summer. Okay. I'm here, and I'm here to talk to you about Ace Hardware Home Services. Because, listen, anytime we've got like a little minor thing wrong in the house that I'm not so sure I can fix, or it's not even, why not just call Ace Hardware Home Services? Get the experts. If you've got an outlet you said you'd fix last summer, Ace Hardware Home Services has the person to do it. Because now they're not just the helpful hardware folks, they're also the helpful home service and repair folks. From plumbing and electrical to heating and cooling, they've got the trusted pros to keep your home humming all year long. They're bringing helpful home, the helpful you love, from the store now to your front door, from Philly to the Jersey Shore. At Ace Hardware Home Services, they bring experience. They are local plumbers and techs who handle everything from repairs and seasonal maintenance to installations and upgrades. They've got the service you can trust, and it is satisfaction guaranteed. So visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project.
We'll now hear from our friends over at Bet365 because we know whatever the moment, it is never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 has 90 million users worldwide. They live stream 780,000 events each year. And today, Bet365 offers the widest range of games and markets available for that live in-game betting across 78 different sports. They pioneered the live in-game betting, and now you only have a few weeks. Remember, we're in the dead heat of summer at this point. There's only a few weeks left of the Major League Baseball regular season, so you want to take advantage of the MLB early payout offers. And with the Bet365 early payout offer, you are a winner if your team goes 5 runs ahead with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. All you have to do is download the app, use the code PHLY365 when you sign up. And remember, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And we've got some breaking news from Bet365. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Win or lose, you sign up, you use that code PHLY365, you deposit $10, place a bet for $5, you get $150 in free bonus bets. If your bet wins or loses, those bonus bets can be used on the spread, they can be used on totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it is never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and physically located in PA. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And of course, we have the Doodad Dental Bright Smile Sweepstakes still going. Each week, we're giving away one Philips Teeth Whitening Home Kit to a lucky winner. And at the end of the sweepstakes, we're giving away a grand prize of an Oral-B IO toothbrush, top-of-the-line tech for your teeth. All you have to do is head to allphly.com/DoodadDentalGroup, fill out the entry form, and you're eligible for both prizes. That's it. No purchase necessary. But don't wait too long. The sweepstakes runs now through August 29th. So if you want a whiter smile and a cleaner mouth without spending a dime, head to allphly.com/DoodadDentalGroup and enter the Doodad Dental Bright Smile Sweepstakes today. Full sweepstakes rules and eligibility can be found at allphly.com/DoodadDentalGroup. Must be 18 or older to enter. Terms and conditions apply. And that brings us to the Doodad Dental Bright Smile. Who had a bright smile for you guys today?
Oh, I got one.
Yes, let's hear it.
Jihaad Campbell had a bright smile discussing his powwow with Myles Garrett yesterday.
EJ, great save. Nicely done. Who? Tell us more about it.
I have the quote that you're going to be interested in hearing.
Okay.
He was asked what was it like talking to Myles Garrett? And he goes, it was just two freaks chopping it up.
Very nice.
That's pretty good. And by the way, I did notice that Jihaad Campbell left the field today with no shirt.
He did his media availability, no shirt.
No shirt with the media availability is a power move for sure.
He's taking that. Maybe that was Myles Garrett's tip.
It's just
like, you will feel like an alpha if you never wear a shirt.
Yeah.
Which you are clearly against, as we talked about yesterday.
Just do the show with our shirts off. No, thanks.
How to make viewership sync on PHLY?
I don't know. I think we get a different kind of viewer. I think it could be good.
Depends on what we're talking about. The AJ Dillon passes, maybe.
Yeah, okay. All right. So Jihaad Campbell with a bright smile talking about being a freak like that. And of course, he's an Eagle, and Doodad Dental is the official dentist of the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. The special teams, one other note here. On the kickoff coverage, I thought it was notable that there was no Avery Williams there. He was not part of that group. Also, I mean, again, this is a retread thing, but still no Jeremiah Trotter Jr. with the first team on kickoff coverage. Kind of weird.
If I were to make a futures bet, I would say that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. not on the 2026 Eagles. Doesn't make the 53 in 2026. I think you get through next year. I think you have Bond, Campbell, Smile. And I just don't know if there's and Mukuba potentially. I don't know if there's a spot for Trotter if he doesn't play special teams. I think you need him right now because you have the two rookies in there. You want that steady hand. I get a guy that's been in the scheme. If he doesn't play special teams, it's tough to be a backup linebacker.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. I don't know why he wouldn't. I don't know why he wouldn't be able to be on special teams.
So the thing that I remember having a conversation with Chris Maragos on a podcast about this topic.
I mean, what a flex.
Well, it feeds this conversation. A lot of people think like, oh yeah, like you're watching guys in college and it's like, oh, like he's not really athletic to play on defense to be a starter, but he'd be a great special teamer. You need to be athletic to play on special teams. I know like Vic Fangio talked about this last year, right? Wasn't there?
Right. And he was saying that special teams, especially at linebacker, is often a precursor to being a good linebacker.
I would say that at safety as well. It's like you need a level of athleticism to be able to play in space, to run down. Obviously, you're covering a lot of ground if you're covering kicks. But if you're playing on the punt return unit, and you're trying to hold up another linebacker or a tight end, a defensive end who's trying to block a kick, and then you have to mirror him down the field. Like you need to be an athlete to be able to do that, or make a tackle in space one-on-one. And if you are undersized and not athletic, it's tough. It's really tough.
Especially like stylistically, it seems like the Eagles are gravitating toward the Zach Bond, Jihaad Campbell type linebackers. I do wonder, like Jeremiah Trotter Jr. does not fit that mold.
It's also it's interesting to me that it wasn't like, okay, he's our rookie 5th round pick linebacker. Let's put him out there and see how he does. And if maybe, and then we pull him. Like it's not like he was tried and failed. Like right away, they were like, he's not going to be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Okay. With the kickoff group, though, Ben Van Sumeren, Josh Uche, this is the starters. You've already mentioned Darius Cooper, Kylan Granson, Will Shipley, Patrick Johnson, Mac McWilliams, Smile Mondon, Kelee Ringo.
Kelee Ringo.
That's what I had.
Yes. Then I had Terrace Marshall was out there on one of the units as well.
Yeah, that was the kick return unit. You had Marshall, you had Ben Van Sumeren, Patrick Johnson. There's a lot of carryover here. Tristan McCollum was out there, EJ Jenkins, Kylan Granson again, Smile Mondin again, Kelee Ringo, Johnny Wilson out there with the kick return unit. And then the kick returners were Will Shipley and AJ Dillon.
Ben Van Sumeren's on the team, Bo.
I think so.
Oh, and man, he got crushed today.
I know. I saw this play.
Jalen Hurts threw him the ball on just a total hospital ball.
Wait, but Jalen Hurts threw him the ball.
Yeah, I know. He was on the field. Jalen Hurts threw him the ball. I don't know if he's ever going to do it again, but that did happen.
Do you think that play was called just because of the question you asked Kevin Matullo yesterday?
I didn't ask that question.
I thought you asked it.
No,
I thought you asked the Ben Van Sumeren question.
No, that was someone else's question.
Okay.
But no, I don't think that.
How many snaps did Ben Van Sumeren get today?
I think that was the only one.
The only one, right?
Yeah.
he got hit. Pretty good.
He got hit pretty good. I mean, maybe he's going to be on the team. I don't. If he's on the team, I need to believe that they have a real package of those plays that they just haven't shown yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think we know what that package is, though. It's like
we saw it last year.
Yeah, we saw it last year. I don't know that there's going to be I think the wrinkles that they were going to try to roll out were like passing out of those sets, because last year it was like automatic run. Like Ben Van Sumeren's in, it's going to be a run play. I think trying to show some schematic flexibility there was what was coming next, and then they got hurt.
22 offensive snaps for him last year. I always have to remind myself of that because I do get a little.
Yeah, when he's locked
I
in.
Overstate it. Well, the special teams.
He's playing all special teams.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Did you have any other leftover nuggets from today, EJ?
I don't think so. I had a question for you that wasn't Ben Van Sumeren, but then we got talking about Ben Van Sumeren, and
you can't remember your question.
It made me slip. Ben Van Sumeren. Oh, you know what? I do have it. Okay. I want to ask you, Fran, what your level of
Wait a second. You said you had a question for me.
Yeah, no, it was for Fran.
Sorry.
What's your level of concern with Andrew Mukuba consistently getting beaten over the top? Bigger tight end.
The way you phrase that is so funny. Like,
just level of like a drum.
A second round pick was supposed to start being really bad in my eyes.
Well, it's a very specific scenario that keeps playing over and over again, which is these.
Nice. You should be the one to deliver this message to Andrew Mukuba.
You cannot cover tight end.
Bring your playbook.
But it seems like every practice almost there's a tight end that can rise up over him and make a catch down the field.
Yeah, it's a little concerning. It's honestly though, it is like the maybe less so though, because like the Jihaad Campbell one-on-one stuff with a running back, that will rarely happen.
Yeah.
Those kind of situations are going to be rare. Him getting matched up one-on-one with a tight end is going to happen, and with receivers in this defense, it's going to happen. We saw that last year. Look, there are when you see DBs with making plays on the football, a lot of it has to do with are you swimming right now mentally, and then you're not making the play like late in the down. And so what you're hoping is like, all right, like as he starts to get comfortable, he gets the sea legs under him, he starts to see things a little bit faster, and now he's in better position. I think that's what you're kind of hoping. I'm sure that's what the Eagles are hoping right now is like, as he's giving up these big plays, you hope like, all right, like as he starts to see things better, he's in better position early to try and see if he can turn around and try and make a play on the ball.
Yeah. And I guess a generous accounting for these plays is that maybe it's different if he's able to actually hit these guys. Not to say that, he's going to, tabletop these guys or anything like that, but there is a lack of physicality on those that stands out. So.
What's your level of concern?
I'm moderately concerned about it. I just feel like to Fran's point, you're going to see him have to do this in games. And it's not just that he's giving up catches. It's like they are consistently touchdown catches,
Yep.
So I would say it's probably my biggest question about Mukuba if he plays is like, how are they going to account for the fact that he is going to get matched up against tight ends?
Yeah, it's difficult. I don't know. Got to see more.
Yeah, I would expect that we're going to see a lot of him on Saturday.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get a lot. He didn't play on last week
right.
at Cincinnati. I think we're going to see a lot of Andrew Mukuba on Saturday. That'll be a good evaluation for him. Honestly, that would be like the number one thing I will want to watch from the film from Saturday's game.
Okay. I got one more thing that Fran and I noticed during practice. There was a motion across the formation where it was Cooper DeJean following the motion, and then he dropped the safety, and Sydney Brown took the nickel spot.
Okay.
Now, Fran can explain it better than
That's
me,
fun.
but I did find that interesting.
Yeah, because they were in there, they were doing a lot of red zone work.
Yeah.
Those guys were working on some bracket stuff, which the Eagles did a decent amount of last year. Where again, someone would go over and let's say Cooper DeJean might pass that to CJ Gardner-Johnson. The coverage call didn't change. It's like who's got inside, who's got outside changed. I thought that was good working that out for those two.
Okay, we have some super chats to get to.
There's a few of them. Yeah.
Zach Perkins, Fran, who would you personally start at CB2 week 1?
I think I would start Adoree Jackson.
You're locking in. The variance. You're locking it in.
Yeah. I mean, the part of it. Were we talking about Kelee Ringo when you said that in terms of like no, it was Kenyon Green. Like, is it a type of player where like, hey, like get him into the starting lineup and like really love him up, and then the confidence soars, and then you're off and running. Maybe it's that kind of situation with Kelee. I do feel like they've tried. They've tried. I think so too. It just hasn't hit. So that does give me some concern here moving forward.
How about you, EJ?
I probably would either go with Kelee or Mac McWilliams. I know that's crazy to say, but I feel like.
Now listen, you've been out in front of the Kelee train for a while. He's been your guy.
Yeah, I haven't given up on Kelee. This has been a tough summer for the Kelee Ringo island here, though. It's the Kelee Ringo stock is definitely as low as it's been probably since he got drafted. Just in terms of like the belief that I had in him going into the summer, the reason why I would probably go with one of the younger guys is just the potential that they might figure it out by week 4 or week 5. And that potential seems less and less with every.
Well, it's like we think that the Eagles would like it to be Kelee Ringo, right?
I think so.
But I mean, the best case scenario for the Eagles is that it's Mac McWilliams. Like,
sure,
he's a rookie. You got 4 years out of him, as opposed to just 2 years left on Ringo's rookie contract. And it's not that. I mean, they used a 3rd round pick on him because they traded a future 3rd. But McWilliams is a 5th. It's not that different.
Yeah.
And to your point, like. Mac McWilliams has given up some catches in practice. We talked about the 2 outs that he had the other day.
I haven't seen him get beat over the top.
That's what I was going to say. It's not catastrophic. It's not like chaotic. Like the Kelee experience right now.
You're absolutely right.
Like there's big plays given up. There's like flying into the ref, trying to make a routine interception. Like
it almost kill a guy. Yeah.
It is tough at times with Kelee, but with Mac McWilliams, it is like more similar to the Adoree experience, where it's like. He might give up catches, but it's not going to be a train wreck. And maybe you think he will grow into a player that doesn't give up as many catches as Adoree Jackson.
Yeah. And then there's also obviously Jacorian Bennett involved. And I think he needs to be here a little bit longer before we get the proper evaluation.
I agree. Yeah, I think that, and we've hit on it. I don't know that the ability itself is enough to overcome some of the mental things, just getting used to the scheme. I don't think there's enough there.
Next super chat from Fresh Prince, who says, as far as the offseason moves, I feel okay about not riding with Oren Burks, but I feel a lot worse about letting Isaiah Rodgers walk. What a gamble.
I think that's playing out this summer.
Yeah.
The linebacker depth is one of the better storylines at camp.
I was going to say this is informed by the draft picks or just the draft in general. Because, the Smile Mondon, we've talked about it before. I feel like he's almost overqualified for that Oren Burks job.
Well, if we take the Eagles at their word about how little money they had, right? Would you rather have Isaiah Rodgers and have used the 2nd round pick on a tight end and not a safety, or you sign the $4 million equivalent of a tight end instead? You don't have Dallas Goedert anymore. Would you rather have Isaiah Rodgers than that? Because that's where they didn't spend that money elsewhere, right? They spent $4 million on Azeez Ojulari. Like you could say we don't have him anymore, but. I don't know. I don't know what they had Rodgers valued at and how much they were willing to go and where that would have had to be borrowed from.
The Goddard thing, I think we talked about this at the time throughout the offseason, is trying to replicate his presence, not just pass game but run game. That's tough.
Yeah, I think you would still rather have Goddard.
I think so.
I might go the other way.
Really?
Yeah, I might. I completely agree. Like the element that Goddard brings in terms of being able to run out of 11 and being able to pass out of 12 is hard to overstate. It's like, structural to what the Eagles do offensively. But I almost wonder, I feel like the offense would be okay without Dallas Goedert still. You have so much star power. And then on the flip side of things, like you mentioned, like the secondary is like a weak link system. if you told me that you're like raising the floor for that group with Isaiah Rodgers, I'm torn on it, but I do think that there's an argument to be made that Isaiah Rodgers would like raise the floor for the defense more than Dallas Goedert would like lower the ceiling for the Eagles offense.
Well, let's continue this conversation in Bovertime. I actually lean more in. I think they might regret Slay more than Isaiah Rodgers.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think that just like the potential for Slay to be completely washed this year is like?
But that's what you have Ringo there for, and that's what you have Mac McWilliams there for, is because I don't think Slay went. I don't think he signed for less than he was worth, or for more than he was worth rather.
Right.
Whereas I think to the Eagles, Isaiah Rodgers signed for more money than he was worth.
I think the element of it though would be if it had been Rodgers instead, you could have billed that to Kelee as like a competition and like try to see like where with Slay Slay was going to start.
No, but you tell Kelee you are Isaiah Rodgers' role now. You are there's a good chance he's not going to start 17 games, right?
That's fair.
Now you can tell me that if Slay comes back, maybe that blocks Quinyon's development to a superstar because he's not going to be following guys anymore. And maybe the force of personality of Slay doesn't allow Quinyon to, ascend to being the guy in the secondary. That's possible. That could have been part of the calculation. But I feel like locking in Slay might have been something that they would have thought more about. I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they signed for similar money too. So it's not like, with the void years, you probably could have made it look exactly the same.
Corey McNamara with the super chat says, how does the summer of reporting that Pablo Torre has had compared to ZB's creative heater of 2019? I haven't listened to the latest Pablo Torre, but I hear it's very good. I got to do that tonight.
Agree.
Listen, I don't know who that person you're talking about, that second person you're talking about is, but
Zach Vaughn
would be hard to compare to what Pablo has done this summer. SRG. Speaking of creative heaters, has EJ ever had a season where he really felt like he was killing it?
I think the listeners will learn I'm not a self-congratulatory person, so I can't say that I've ever identified a stretch of stories.
Yeah, I feel like it would be pretty. Heater. Yeah, I mean, I don't like the kind of person who would just talk about how good they were some year. That's, what is that about?
Teach you up for this. I feel bad.
What's that about?
Just really lobbed it up there.
I mean, I'm with you, EJ. I'm not gonna tout myself.
Oh man, I apologize. I tried to tee this up this perfectly for you. I have had stretches during seasons that I've been happy with the work that I've done. I would say
you've had stories.
I'd say I feel like it's usually around like week 6 that I start to get a feel for the team and try to my thing is I always say I want to teach you things you didn't know about the Eagles.
Sure.
And that's usually the time of the year where I start to pick up some things and get the Google Doc full of ideas and try to get 3 or 4 of them out in 3 or 4 weeks. And I think I've had stretches, but I don't think I've ever used the term before.
Not a Google spreadsheet though, or Google Doc.
Yeah, Google Doc for the story ideas. Google spreadsheet for the 53-man roster that made me king of the beats.
Yeah, but that terrible spreadsheet demoted you.
As I was watching the show the other day, and I could see Bo looking at your screen, and I'm like, how bad is this spreadsheet?
You want to show him your spreadsheet?
I can show it to you.
Listen, Fran is the king of the spreadsheets.
I like a spreadsheet.
Yeah, wait till you see this thing. It's pretty bad.
It's pretty lackluster.
This is like a window into my mind. This is the chaos that happens up here.
Fresh Prince. Is Darius Cooper too good to have been in consideration for the Camp Crush before Brandon Johnson caught your eye? Do you wish you could go back and create Darius Cooper similar to what you did with Christian Ellis? He at that point he was not too good. He absolutely could have. That was before the rise of Darius Cooper. I could have done that, but that wouldn't have been telling the truth. I was following my eyes, following my heart. It was Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson, I feel like was one of the most true Camp Crush experiences we've had in a while.
I agree. I agree with that sentiment. You were very smitten.
The way when you said his name, it's
tingle in your loins.
But listen, I'm still happy to be taking credit for Darius Cooper. I have no problem with that.
We know that.
Let me tell me if you guys agree with this. Listen, I'm getting older. My memory's not what it once was, but I think I've still got a pretty good memory.
Okay.
Short-term memory, usually pretty good. I feel like my short-term memory is never worse than when I'm in the shower and like the shampoo or the body wash has run out or is about to run out.
Oh, yes.
And I'm like, okay, the only thing I care about in the world is that when I leave the shower, I'm going to get the replacement one and put it in. That is the only thing I care about. I don't care about anything else. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to forget. I'm going to do this. And then the second I step out of the shower, I totally forget about it.
Next day you show up and it's empty.
Yeah.
You got to put it outside the shower.
You have to.
Yeah.
Well, that was the problem. Is this one there was just enough left. So I was like, okay, Rachel will get one more use out of that, but I'm going to put the one in just to, to have it ready. I'm going to do the nice thing. And I just every time I forget.
I'm with Fran.
Immediately.
You got to bring it.
You got to dump that thing on the ground or put it outside.
Got to go on the ground.
You got to.
Yes.
But you don't want to wait. You don't want to be wasteful.
It's true.
I mean, like, I don't know how much. If you can't get any out of it, it's not like there's.
Well, that's what I mean. If there's clearly enough left for like one more use. But
do you have the squeeze bottle or is it a pump?
most of them are squeezes.
Oh, I'm a pump guy. I get like 4 of them.
Yeah, you are.
Oh. They're off the rails. Is this what Bovertime is? Yeah. I get like 4 of them delivered on Amazon.
Julie's got to wipe down the screen over there.
Oh man, I've been really teeing you up a lot today. This has been bad.
So when I have a squeeze bottle, and you reach the end of the squeeze bottle, and like it just makes that the loud fart noise, like the loud, So I get up very early in the morning. I shower first thing, and Mega sleep. Our bathroom it's connected to the bedroom. If it's making that loud noise, I always feel terrible. I'm like, I'm good. So then I try and do it slow, but all it does is just stretch it out.
Yeah.
It's like, do I just go fast? These are the things I think about at like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a way to muffle the sound. What if can you unscrew?
I probably could. Yeah, that's probably the way to do it. I will say though, usually, so we do the I've got like the pump. Take the squeeze bottle, dump it into the pump, and then do it that way, and then it's not that big of a deal.
Okay. All right. Did you have something you needed to address?
I do. I have something I need to address. I've been waiting all show for this. Okay. So those of you who listen to the Ringers Philly special may have heard, not only did my former podcast co-hosts and I thought friends just go in on me here, but so did my former colleague, Olivia Reiner.
Yeah.
Now, listen, the listeners might remember me addressing Cliffy Two Scoops, putting my new job in their podcast description before I announced it to everyone. And I thought when I was addressing this, I thought I was actually pretty lenient on Cliff specifically.
I would say so.
I went after Sheil. I said verbatim, Sheil would choose content over friendship.
Yes.
And if you listen to their podcast, which, I usually would recommend, but at this point, listen, I mean, if they're going to come after me, they hoodwinked Cliff. They told, Cliff, what are you going to say? EJ really went after you here.
Well, that's what he's doing. He's doing content. Yeah.
He's trying to pit me and Cliff against each other now. So which camera are we at here?
Right over here.
Sheil, this is at you. This is not a Cliff. Leave Cliff out of this. And last thing I want to say here. Olivia Reiner. I have known her for years. I met her mom. We went to Sephora together when we were in Tampa. Olivia and I thought we were good friends. They play the audio. They ask Olivia for her opinion. She goes, I'm going to have to side with my guy Cliff here. My guy Cliff. She's known this guy for 45 minutes on a podcast. I've known her for years, and she's, and she was body language doctoring the tone of my voice when I said I like those guys. You think you know people, Yeah, just the second that I'm out the door, Cliff the whole time was like, the switch up is crazy. Watch how they switch sides. And I was like, Cliff, I was very intentional about. Listen, me and Cliff, I thought we were boys.
Yeah, that's how I took it.
So yeah, I needed to address this. Again, this is about Sheil. Team content over everything. I'm not going to forget that.
Wow. Bo hasn't listened yet, so this is
I haven't got there, but I'm on. I'm on your side.
I listened to it. I listened to it last night, and I woke up thinking about what I was going to say. Because I got the tweet, like Olivia tweeted, like not some friendly question mark ribbing of EJ, and I'm like, I listened on 2 times speed.
Good, you didn't really listen to the rest of the show. That's important.
I did listen to the show, if I'm being honest. I was kind of it kept me up to listen, and then this morning I was like, I need to make sure I hit on this at the end of the show.
That's what I would. I have a low opinion of those people over there already, but that seems beneath them. They shouldn't be doing that to you.
It's because they know I'm a pushover millennial. They thought I wasn't going to do this.
Yeah.
They're like, EJ, we're just going to rag on him, and he's just going to go into his shell. Listen, maybe it's all the times that people have told me I shouldn't be a pushover millennial. Got to stand up for myself.
You did want to clarify the millennial, the old.
Yeah, I'm not an old millennial. I'm a young millennial.
Yes,
I apologize for that.
Man, and he's and poor Cliff. Shield just using him like a pawn.
Yeah, like
they managed no agency.
Once.
And not only that, but then Shield also recollected the time when Cliff fell asleep during a late night pod. It's like that. He's only made 2 mistakes. He was dying with EJ, and then at the time he fell
bringing
asleep,
up old stuff.
All we ever do is gas up our producer. Meanwhile, Shield's digging his underneath.
Man, Cliff deserves
put
better.
Him 6 feet under.
Opinion. C2S, Cliffy too sleepy.
Yeah, shout out to Cliffy too.
Cliff, listen, Cliff, you want to break some new news? Listen, maybe we got an opening for a producer over here. I'm just saying. You want to go somewhere where they're going to treat you well? Spot open. That's all. All right. Well, we've got your back, EJ. We're ready to ride for you. That'll do it for this episode of the PHLY Eagles podcast. We are back tomorrow, 2:00. EJ and Handsome Rich in the saddle. That'll be very fun. And then we'll have you covered for the game on Saturday between the Eagles and Browns. All kinds of good stuff. Back at it next week. EJ's first week. Feeling great. That'll do it. Thank you, Julia, our wonderful producer, whom we love.
Never made
just like all the other producers here at PHLY. We will talk to you tomorrow. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.